This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so we were discussing the topic called as AUC, right, which is asset under construction. Okay, and we already understood what exactly is asset under construction to create the AUC asset. Okay, and whatever cost will be incurred on that asset, we will keep on posting to AUC. And finally, once the asset is completed, so one first is the AUC time. Okay, or maybe you can say there are two phases. One is AUC phase. In AUC phase, you will keep on posting
Your voice is not clear, Vikram. We couldn't hear you, Vikram.
value to AUC asset. Okay, and second phase
I couldn't hear you, Vikram.
Yes, sorry. Can you hear me now? Okay. So what I was saying is that every month end, if there is depreciation to be performed, you will start performing the depreciation once the asset has been converted to the final asset. Okay, and then we were about to discuss one more topic, which was AUC using internal order. Okay, so this was the topic which we were not able to complete in the last session, so we will discuss about this now. AUC using internal order. Okay, let's take an example. You are constructing various different buildings. Okay, so let's say you are constructing building number 1, you are constructing building number 2, you are constructing building number 3. Okay, now let's say these are the 3 buildings that it is under construction. Now one option is I can create the AUC for each building. Okay, I'll create a separate asset under construction for building 1, separate asset under construction for building 2, and separate AUC for 3. Okay, another option is instead of using the AUC asset, I can create an internal order. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll create 3 internal orders: building 1, building 2, and building 3. Okay, and whatever cost has been collected in the internal order, at every month end I will create only one AUC. Okay, so AUC, let's say for buildings. So whatever different buildings I have, those are created as internal order. I will keep on posting the cost into these internal orders, and at the end of the month, whatever cost has been collected in this internal orders, I will settle it to this AUC. Okay, and at the end of the building, once the complete AUC is completed, I will transfer that cost from AUC to final asset. Okay, so what is the process? The process is create internal order for each building. Okay, in this example it is building, it can be any asset. Then keep on posting the cost to internal orders, right? Number 3, at period end, settle all cost collected at internal order to AUC asset. Okay, and finally at the completion of asset, transfer all AUC costs to final asset. Okay, so this is the entire process of AUC with internal order. Okay, so I'll take this example. I'll just take one example of building 1. What I'll do is I'll create one internal order for building 1. Okay, and then I'll show you how to post the cost to the internal order, and finally how to settle the cost from internal order to AUC, and then from AUC to final asset. We already seen how to transfer the cost from AUC to final asset, but same thing we will again see using internal orders. Okay, so let me run this scenario in the system. So in order to create the internal order, if you remember last time I shown you how to set up the internal order type from the configuration. Maybe I'll just quickly show you. So SPRO, IMG, in controlling module, there is a separate folder for internal orders. Okay, within internal order, you can go to order master data, and if you remember, I told you, you will be only able to use internal order when you activate for your controlling area. So in our case, our controlling area is ABCI. So in ABCI, if you go to activate components, make sure that this order management component is active. If this order management component is not active, this means you will not be able to use internal orders. Right? So this is order management is nothing but you are telling the system that in my company code or in my controlling area, I'm going to use the internal orders. Okay. Then if you go to internal order types, okay, which is under order master data, and define the order type. Okay, so here you will find different kinds of internal order types which are available from the system. So whenever you are creating the internal order, system will ask you what is the type of this internal order. Okay, so maybe I'll just copy one, or let's create one new internal order type for our company, for our controlling area. So order category, take it first one, internal order for controlling. Okay, press enter. Just provide whatever code you want. It should be 4-digit code. So again, I'll go with ABCI, for example. So these are internal order types for ABCI. Okay, and here in the settlement profile, we will use the standard one. So settlement profile for, you can see for AUC is AI. Okay, settlement of asset under construction, take this one. Then in the object class, please go and select, maybe you can select this or you can select this, it will not make much difference. Okay, so overhead cost. And then last one is, yeah, I think this much is enough. Let's click on save. Okay, number range not processed. We have to assign the number range also, otherwise system will not be able to know which number range to use. Okay, so click on this assignment, and for ABCI, this is our internal order type. Click on this assignment and assign it to any number range which you want. I am assigning it to number range 01. Okay, you can see now within 01 we have ABCI. Okay, and save it. So now our configuration related to internal order is done. We need to create an internal order. Okay, which is an end user activity. So end user will be able to create the internal order from this SAP Easy Access screen. So let's go to accounting, within controlling, internal orders, master data, special function, order, and you will find the internal order creation screen here, which is KO01. Okay, so let's double click on this, specify your controlling area. Okay, and order type which we created just now, which was ABCI. Okay, and let's say this is building number 1. If you want to enter some additional information like this will relates to which business area, this relates to which plant, you can enter it here. Otherwise, just click on save. Okay, so there is one error, enter the distribution rule for asset without the validity limit. Okay, let's see what is this. First of all, let me check if there is any field mandatory here. Okay, there is no field mandatory. We need to tell the system whatever cost would be collected to this particular internal order, it would be settled to what, right? We need to specify so in this example, I told you first create the internal order. Okay, keep on posting the values to the internal order, and finally you will settle all the internal order cost to AUC. So here we need to tell the system that which AUC will take the cost of this internal order. Okay, so before that we also need to create a AUC asset. We already have one, but we will create a separate one just to avoid any confusion. So I'll go for AS01, which is the transaction to create a new asset. And for AUC asset, we already have the asset class, which is this one, ABC-AUC. Just press enter. Okay, let's say this is a single AUC asset for all the buildings. Okay, so for each and every building, I'm creating an internal order, but whatever cost has been collected for each building, that would be settled to this single AUC asset. Okay, let's say this is my scenario. If I go to time dependent, I can enter the cost center if I want. In the depreciation area, this should be 0000 because this is AUC and normally we don't charge any depreciation on AUC asset. Just click on save. So we can use this 4003 as a receiver of this internal order. Okay, so for this internal order, our receiver is asset. Okay, which asset? So if you just do F4, system will show you the list of all those assets which are available. So this is the one which we just now created, 4003. Okay, press enter. System will assume 100%, which means whatever cost will be collected for this internal order, everything would be settled to this fixed asset 4003. Okay, let's come out and try to save this internal order. Okay, it is saying no profit center assigned, although profit center accounting is active. Let's do one thing. So it is trying to remind us that it is better to write or enter the profit center. So we will enter the profit center by doing F4. Okay, and whatever profit center has been created here. Just click on save. Okay, so now our internal order has been created and system knows that whatever cost will be collected in this internal order, it would be settled to the AUC asset. Okay, so once your internal order is created, next is keep on posting the cost to the internal order. So let's say I'm buying some bricks or cement or whatever. So, or maybe it is a bill for the construction vendor. Construction vendor has submitted the bill, construction charges. Okay, so I'll go to FB50. Let's say document date is 09/12/2019. Okay, GL account, I will use whatever cost account we have available. So let me see which is most relevant. Okay, I'll take this for example 4002, but don't go with this electricity expenses. Maybe you can create one more GL account which is construction charges. Okay, so debit and the amount, whatever amount you want to charge. So let's say 10,000, and it is, let's say, going from your bank account. So 2000, this would get credited and the amount. Okay, let's press enter and see which field is important. So it is asking us that this GL account requires a CO object. So till now what we were doing is whenever we were getting this error, we were providing the cost center, right? But now instead of cost center, we can directly provide the internal order that we just now created, so that the system knows that where exactly this cost is going out. Okay, so this is the internal order that we just created. Okay, and you are getting error. What is the error? System status for this order is created. So you should not be able to use this internal order as soon as it is created. What you also need to do is you need to release this internal order. Okay, so in order to release the internal order, you can click on this release button. Normally it shows here. I don't know why it is not showing. Let me try once again. So if you go back and try to change this internal order, enter. Normally it shows the button here, but if not, just click on edit and release. Okay, so order has been released. Save it, and then just try to use this particular AUC asset or internal order. Right now that error is gone and it is asking for mandatory date field, so which is 9/12/2019. Okay, done. Everything is green. Let's try to save it. So the document has been posted. Okay, which means we have posted the cost of 10,000 to this internal order. How can I go and verify what is the total cost incurred for this internal order? So there are various reports in SAP which are related to internal order. So you can go to internal order. Okay, in internal order you will be going to information system. So for reports, normally we go for this information system folder. Reports for internal order, you can carry out this plan versus actual report. Okay, so if I ask the system to give me the report for this controlling area and whatever, for which period, for which plan version, and I can enter the internal order also here. So if I'm not entering, it will give me the report of all the internal orders. Okay, so till now we created 2 internal orders. So if I want to see the cost only for this internal order, just select this. You can see there is the actual cost of 10,000 which is posted. Right, so as of now, we only posted 10,000 to this particular internal order. And now at the end of the month, okay, once we created the internal order, we posted the values into the internal order. Now at the period end, we need to settle all the cost collected at the internal order to AUC asset. Okay, so we need to perform the internal order settlement. Okay, what does it mean? It means to send all the costs collected from the internal order to the AUC asset. So that you'll be able to perform within internal order. Okay, period end closing, single function, okay, settlement, and using this transaction called as KO88. KO88 is a transaction which will allow you to do the settlement from internal order to asset. So let's double click on this. Here you need to provide the internal order number from which internal order you want to send the values. Okay, and the settlement period is current period, which is 9th, 12th period, right? December is 9th period of 2019. Okay, so before you perform the actual run, you will perform the test run, and where you will be getting the error. Let's see what is the error that we are getting. You can see maintain sources for allocation structure A1 in controlling area ABC1. Now what does it mean? So for settlement also, there is some configuration that you have to do before you carry out the actual settlement. So for configuration, again, we will go back to SPRO, IMG. Okay, within controlling, you will go to internal orders. Okay, within internal orders, you will go to actual postings, settlement, and this is the configuration which is related to the settlement. So what error we are getting? We are getting the error related to the allocation structure. Let me tell you what is the allocation structure. If you open this, see what error we are getting, just see the error and accordingly we will solve this issue. So if I execute this, I'm getting the error maintain source for allocation structure A1 in controlling area ABCI. Now if you see this, it is asking about A1. Now how system derived A1? So if you go to the internal order, okay, using transaction KO03, enter. In this settlement rule, if you click on this settlement rule and then go to settlement parameters, okay, here you will be able to see which allocation structure is assigned to this particular order. Okay, because we assigned A1 to this particular order, system is asking for the configuration of A1. Okay, so let's select A1 and it is asking us to maintain the sources. You can see there are source and there are cost elements. So if I click on A1, double click on assignment, okay, these are various different types of cost. So whatever HR related cost, you can enter in the personnel cost. Whatever raw material related cost, you will enter it in this particular node. Other cost, secondary cost, and revenue cost. So in our case, the cost that we incurred was electricity expense, right? So I will map this cost into other cost and go to the source. Here you need to tell the system which cost will be clubbed in this particular other cost. So you have to specify your GL accounts. So I'm telling the system whatever cost has been posted in cost element 4000 will go to the other cost. Okay, and last one is just come to the settlement cost element, click on new entry. Who is our receiver? In our case, sender is internal order. Who is going to receive these values? It is AUC asset. It is asset in short, right? So if I click on receiver category, I have to select this FXA, which is asset, and click on this cost element. Okay, by cost element. Save it. If you do this configuration, now system will not throw that particular error. So why this configuration was done? Okay, so the configuration was done because you need to tell the system what cost, which cost element cost you want to settle to the internal, to the AUC asset. Okay, so this is settlement. Whenever you are creating, see, internal order is a very big topic within SAP CO. It is a part of SAP controlling. But what we are doing is we are just looking at the simple internal order process where we want to collect all the cost to the internal order and then we are loading that particular cost onto the onto the AUC asset, right? So let's come out of this now and try to execute once again after performing the configuration. Now again we are getting the error. It is saying complete the allocation structure A1. Let's click on the question mark. The reason we are getting this error, can you tell me? We have assigned 4000, but which cost element actually we used during the transaction? I think it was 4002, right? So for chart of account ABC 0, which cost we use? This one, right? 4002. That is the reason we are getting errors. Okay, so now let's try once again. Now there is another error. No allowed combination ledger, company and accounting principle maintained. Okay. What is this error? This is a different error. Normally you will not get this error in the system. This is the error you will only get in S4HANA system. You will not get such type of errors in ECC. So there is one configuration which is in financial accounting global settings, ledgers, ledger. Okay, and here you need to select your leading ledger 0L. Let's go to the company code settings, enter, and our company code is APCI. Yes, see, this is where you also need to maintain your accounting principle. Okay, last time in asset accounting I told you where you need to maintain the accounting principle for ledger. Here also you need to maintain the ledger for your accounting principle. So new entry, and you will be selecting the accounting principle gap here. Okay, same accounting principle that you assigned in the asset accounting. Okay, this is the reason we were getting the error. So you also might get error if you're not maintained this configuration. Okay, now let's go back and try to execute this. Okay, finally we are able to perform the settlement, but what we are doing is test run. As of now I have clicked on the test run. So what is going to happen? So it is showing you 10,000 will be transferred from this internal order. So internal order is a sender, and who will receive this AUC asset. So 10,000 will be transferred from this internal order to this receiver. Okay, which is correct. So let's come out and try to do the actual run. So I'll remove this and perform the actual run. Okay, now once this actual run has been performed, if you go to the report of the internal order that I've shown you, it will show you that there is no more cost available in this particular internal order, right? So if I go to accounting, controlling, internal orders, information system, reports, and this particular report. Okay, and if I try to execute it, let's go for this one. You can see total balance is 0. Why? Because we incurred 10,000, but we settled that 10,000. So final cost is 0. Okay, and when you settled, it has been transferred to AUC asset. So how can you check the AUC balance? Which is a transaction to see the particular AUC asset? What is the transaction for Asset Explorer?
AW01N.
Right, AW01N, which will tell us what is the corresponding value. You can see this AUC asset got the value of 10,000. Okay, how it is transferred? If you come down, it will clearly tell you that it came through internal order settlement to AUC. Okay, so now the cost is shifted from internal order to AUC. And once this final asset has been completed, Okay, once this building construction has been completed, what are you going to do next is you are going to settle the cost, okay, of this AUC to final asset using the same way that we have seen earlier. So how we do it? I will go to accounting, financial accounting, fixed assets, okay, periodic processing, or maybe postings, capitalize AUC, first distribute and then settle. So double click on this distribute first, okay, and specify this information. If you execute it, system will ask you who is the receiver for this particular line item. So just select this line item, click on enter, and here you have to tell the final asset, which is your final asset. Okay, so I will use the same final asset which we created earlier, okay, which is, if you are able to see it here, if not, maybe I'll create one new one. Okay, let's create a new one. So I want to create a new asset which is AS01. Have we created the asset class for buildings? I think we are not created. Let me quickly create one new asset class for buildings. Okay, so how can I do that? OA is a transaction code to create a new asset class. Or maybe let's go through the configuration, because we also need to activate that asset class in our company code. So financial accounting, asset accounting, organization structure, asset classes, define asset classes. Okay, so in order to create a new asset class, I'll just copy the existing asset class, let's say furniture, ABC-FUR. Okay, and this would be, let's say, building. So BUI, buildings. Okay, I'll keep this account determination same. Okay, because otherwise I have to create a separate GL account also. Number range also should be fine. So let's press enter and save it. And one more thing, I need to activate this asset class in my company code. So general valuation, determine depreciation area in the asset class. So our chart of depreciation is ABCI. Okay, and in this one, our asset class is ABC-something, which is this one. Select this, double click here, and okay, when we copied, it got activated already. So there is no need to provide anything. Maybe we can provide this as 0000 because this is a building. And normally for building, we don't charge any depreciation. Okay, now I can go to create a new asset. So AS01, and I want to create this under BUI, which is a new asset class that we created. This is a building. Okay, other information is optional. I'll just save it first. Okay, so final asset is 1002. So I want to tell the system that whatever cost has been collected to 4003, ultimately it needs to be settled to 1002. Can you see it here? If not, just enter the company code ABCI and press enter. Why it is not showing that particular asset? Yeah, this one, sorry, 1002. We are able to see here. Double click on this and press enter. Okay, now if you come back, you'll be able to see that this is green, which means system now knows that who is the valid receiver of this particular AUC asset. Okay, and once you have completed the distribution part, next part is performing the actual settlement using this AIBU. So double click on this, okay, and specify your AUC asset here. By default, it will show you final asset, but we need to be very careful and we need to select the AUC asset, which was this one. Okay, so whatever document date, whatever value date you want, and click on execute. Asset has no line items to settle. Is it correct asset 4003? Yes. Why it is saying there is no line items to settle? Let's see. Okay, maybe the posting date is a problem. So we will change the posting date to maybe 31st. Let's try now. Execute. Yes. So you can see this 10,000 would be transferred from the AUC asset to the final asset. So from 4003, the values will be transferred to 1002. So let's come out and remove the test run. Okay, because we want to perform the actual run. We want to move this cost immediately to the final asset. Okay, so let's execute it this time. And this time you'll be able to see that there is a document created. Okay, which means now if I go to the Asset Explorer report, okay, if I go to the Asset Explorer report for AUC asset, then the value would be 0. Okay, this is a final asset. You can see final asset has a cost of 10,000 now. But what about AUC assets? If I remove this and go to 4003, you can see everything is 0. Why? It will clearly tell you two different things. First, it will tell you that acquisition was done from the internal order, but later on, whatever cost has been collected in this AUC asset, that has been settled to the final asset. Okay, so this is the entire process of AUC asset using internal orders. Okay, whenever you will be working on the project, there might be this scenario where customer is posting all the cost to the internal order first. From internal order, they will settle it to AUC, and from AUC, they will settle it to the final asset. Okay, any question on this? Have you understood this? If you try it once, you will become very comfortable. Otherwise, it is a little bit difficult to understand. Any questions from anyone? No questions? Can you go to the next topic then? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Vikram.
Okay. Okay, so if no questions, let's go to the next topic, that is validation and substitutions. Okay, now some of you who already worked on SAP ECC, you might be knowing this, what are validations and substitutions, but let's try to understand in detail. Okay, so let's start with validations, okay, and substitutions. This is very small topic, but very important from exam point of view. You can expect at least 1 or 2 questions on this topic. Okay, so this is kind of bonus questions. If you understood this topic, it will not take much time, but if you understood it very well, it will definitely is a bonus question for you in the exam. And obviously, if you are working in the like in the project, then validations and substitutions are very commonly used. Okay, so if you understand the concept well, then you'll be able to write any kind of validation and substitution in the system. Okay, so who will tell me the meaning of validations? What are validations? Someone who already worked? No idea?
Validation means validating something like GL accounts,
Mm-hmm.
and relevant company code.
Okay. Okay, let me explain one example. See, if I try to post a transaction, if I go to transaction FB50, okay, and if I try to post this transaction without specifying the document date, okay, if I don't enter the document date, just press enter. See, system is giving me this error message, enter the valid date. Why I'm getting this message? I'm getting this message because system is validating whether the required fields are entered or not, right? Let's say if I enter anything here, 1 2 3 4 5 6, okay, if I press enter, again system is giving me the error that is invalid date. So what exactly is this? This is an example of the validation that the system is performing. System is validating your data. Whatever data you are entering, or even if you're not entering any data, system is checking the process and it is telling you, it is validating, and it is telling you that there is something wrong. This is an example of a validation. But have we written any validation till now? Have we told any system that to perform the validation? No. This validation is by default from the system. So whenever you are posting any transaction, system will automatically validate some of the fields. Okay, some of the fields will be automatically validated by the system itself. Okay, but in addition to the system validations, if I want to write my own validations, if a customer comes and tells you that okay, whatever validations are written in the systems are fine, but I have one more requirement. Okay, let's take this example. So let's say customer is saying, if this document type is SA, I want system to enter the text here. If he is not entering the text, give the error message. Okay, let's understand this scenario. Very simple scenario. So example, if document type is SA, simple. This is my requirement. If my document type is SA, then please check if document header text is filled with the information. If not, throw error message. Simple. Okay, so what is the requirement? There are already lot of validations in the system, right? So if I'm entering the wrong document date, system is giving me the error message. Okay, or even if I, let's say for example, if I write the correct date here, but when I'm trying to enter the GL account, so if I write 4,000 and then if I provide the amount as 1234 something, like not 1234, if I provide the amount in the alphabets, again system will give error that this kind of values are not allowed for this field, right? So these are the system validations which are by default. These are not written by the user. This is something which is handled by the system itself. Same way, let's say user comes with the requirement with the example that I gave you. User is saying that whenever I use document type SA, I want to make sure that without entering the text field, I should not be able to post the document. So I want a validation which verifies that if my document type is SA, then if the text field is not filled, then system should throw the error message, right? So if I want to write this validation in addition to what is already provided by the system, I can do that by writing the new validation logic. How can you write the new validation logic? So let me show you where exactly these validations are created. So if I go to SPRO, IMG. Okay, financial accounting global settings. Within tools, you'll be able to see validation and substitution. Okay, so if you go to this validation and substitution, first one is validation in accounting documents. Open this. Okay, this is where you can activate or deactivate the validation, but first is you need to create the validation. Okay, I'll show you. There are only two things that you need to do when you are creating a validation. One is creating the validation, and second is making it activate or deactivate for your company code. Okay, so in order to create a validation, we use this transaction called as GBB0, right? Am I right? No, it is G. Do you remember the transaction code? This is to call GGB0. Yes, it is GGB0. GGB0 is a transaction, okay, which will allow you to create a validation. Okay, now in this particular screen, if I want to create a new validation, just give me a minute. It is not allowing me to create new one. I don't know how I forgot the transaction code. It is very commonly used. I think the transaction code is correct. Yes, I need to select this and then it will allow, I think. Okay, let's do that. So validations, I want to create these validations at the financial accounting document, right? So don't worry about all others. These are other modules. But if I go to financial accounting, okay, and within this financial accounting, you can see document header, you can see line item, and you can see the complete document. So in this particular case, the requirement that I told you, if I am in transaction FB50, what is this? Because I want to put the validation on this field, document header text. So can you tell me if you remember previously we understood that in SAP accounting screen we have two sections. This is header section, which is common for all the lines, and then we have these are the different lines that we enter, where we enter the GL accounts and the amounts. Can you tell me what is the maximum number of lines that we can have in the accounting document?
999.
Sorry,
999.
999, right?
Yes.
So this portion is called as line item, and this portion is called as header item. Okay, this is header and these are lines, right? So now in the header portion, I want to apply the validation. Okay, and that is the reason I have to select it properly from here, whether I want to write the validation on the header or I want to write the validation on the line item, right? So in this particular case, I want to, in this particular case, I want to write the validation on the document header. So I'll select this. Now within this, you can see as of now, there is no validation created. So I want to create a new validation. You can come here, you can create a new validation. Okay, whatever name you want to provide. So this is for document header. Or maybe you can say header text. Okay, and this is for FI. Now within this, you have to create different steps. Okay, within one validation, there can be different steps. So let's click on the step. Okay, so let's say this is a to verify text column. Okay, so to verify the text column, press enter. Now you can see there are three things: prerequisite, check, and message. Right? There are three things that you need to write in the validation. And which are these three things? Which I told you in the notepad. So number one is, if document type is SA, this is called as prerequisite. Prerequisite means when this validation will come into play. This validation will only come into play when the document type is SA. And please make sure that you are writing your company code also here, because otherwise what will happen is, if you write a validation without specifying your company code, then that validation will come into picture for each and every company code. Okay, so please make sure that you are not writing any validation which is affecting other company codes. So if document type is SA and company code is ABCI, okay, this is a prerequisite. If this is true, then system will perform the check. So this is called as check. So number one is prerequisite. Number two is perform the check. And if the check is false, this is message. What message should come? Okay, so how validation works? Validation will first verify the prerequisite. Based on the prerequisite, it will perform the check. And if the check is false, it will issue the message. So you can see prerequisite, check, and message sections are available here. So first one is prerequisite, second is check, and third is message. So what is my prerequisite? Let's double click here. And here you will be able to specify your prerequisites. So my prerequisite is in the document header. Double click on this. What are my two prerequisites? What are my two prerequisites? Number one is my company code should be ABCI. And second is, so company code equal to, select like this, you cannot write. So you have to select the column company code equal to, okay, and the constant value. So constant value is ABCI. Okay, and second condition is, and document type. Okay, you can see document type column here. And document type is equal to, again, a constant, which is, document type is SA. Right, so these are our two conditions. What happened? It is saying specific correct value. Let's see. No, this is not the correct column. Don't go with the description. This is separate document type, so we don't need this particular column. So if you want to remove it, there is a delete button from cursor. Okay, so and let's select the correct document type. Let me know if you are able to see the document type. Yeah, this document type. So double click on this. I hope this is correct. Let's try to click on equal to constant value and try to do F4. Yes, this is the correct document type, which we want as SA. Okay, press enter. So this is a prerequisite. What should be checked? If this condition match, if my company code is ABCI and document type is SA, then system will check if document header text, right? So again, within accounting document header table, if document header text, you can see document header text, this field. what should be checked? Whether this field has a value or not. So if this field is not equal to, okay, if this field is not equal to blank, okay, you can just enter. So you are telling the system document header text, this greater than and less than means not equal to. If it is not equal to blank, what does it mean? It means that there should be some value in the document header text. If there is no value, then go for the message. Okay, and what would be the message? There will be the error message, and whatever message you want to write, you can select the messages from here. There are a lot of messages which are already written here. Okay, you can also write your own message, but normally this activity is done by the basis. If you want to create a new message, you can ask them to create it. Okay, but I'll just go with any particular thing. Let's go with this one. I want to show this message, document type SA not allowed. Okay, just for example, it is not allowing me to select this. Let's select some other message. Okay, so what I'll write here is, please enter document header text. Okay, click on save. It is not allowing to change it here because we are in client 800 and this type of changes are only allowed in client 400. Okay, anyways, I'll just take any one message. Let's come out of this. No. So just do F4 and select any message that you want to see as of now, because we don't have the option to create the message in this system. Whatever message, it seems that this is okay. You can go with that particular message. So anything related to, okay, just understand this. I'm just selecting this one. So message will be wrong, but at least you will understand how this message is triggered. Okay, so now my validation has been created. What this validation will do, this validation will first check if my document type is SA and company code is ABCI. If yes, it will also check if the document header text has a value. If no, then system will throw the error message. Okay, let's try whether it works or not. But before that, as I told you, one part is activation, one part is definition, second part is you have to activate it. So you'll go to validation, new entry. So for company code ABCI, at the document header level, I want to activate which validation? This validation. Okay, so activation level, if you do F4 here, system will show you the options. So you can activate it from here. Just click on save. Okay, so now next time onwards, whenever you go to transaction FB50, okay, and for document type SA, if I don't provide the document header text and press enter, see, system is throwing this message. Right, so whatever message you want to select, you can also create your own messages if you have the authority. If not, you can ask basis to create a message for you. That same message will appear here. So the correct message should be, please enter the document header text. Okay, so instead of this message, you can always get that particular message that you want. So this is additional validation that we have entered in addition to whatever is provided by SAP. Okay, so just to summarize, 2-3 important things here in the validation. Number one, validation is to validate the fields in the accounting transaction. Some of the fields are already pre-validated by the system. If you want to write additional validations, you can write using this transaction GGB0. Okay, and the other important questions which are asked in this particular exam is what are the different steps in the validation. So there are 3 steps. First one is prerequisite, second is check, and third is message. Another question which is asked in the exam on the validation is what are the different types of validation. So you can see there are 3 types of validations: validation at the document header level, validation at the line level, and validation at the complete document level. Right, so we have seen the example of document header. We can also write the validation where system will perform the validation on the line. So we can tell the system, if I'm using this GL account, any particular GL account, then any of this particular field, if I want to keep it mandatory. So that would be line level validation which you can write. Okay, so you have to try this multiple validations, whatever criteria you want. Sometimes you can make reference field as mandatory, sometimes you can make document header text field as mandatory. Try for the line level also, where you will go for a particular GL account and you want to make it something mandatory. Okay, it is not about mandatory, it is also about having the fixed value. So if I want to tell the system that if I'm using this GL account, okay, the cost center cannot be anything else about, like only admin cost center can be used for this GL account. That validation also can be written. So what you will do in that case is your prerequisite would be that if the GL account is 4000 or any other GL account, what are you going to check? You are going to check if cost center is anything or cost center is admin or not. If not, then you will throw the error message. Is it clear? Any questions on this validations? Yes, no, everybody's silent today.
No, Vikram.
No questions. Is it clear? Very clear. What is validation now?
Yes.
Okay. So I just wanted to check with you if I can continue for another maybe 15-20 minutes, or you want to start from tomorrow. So we will have this maybe sessions for next 2-3 days. Okay, because yesterday also we canceled the session, so let's try to utilize this time. Okay, and I hope all of you are fine with this time. If there is if anyone is not comfortable on this time, maybe we can think about any time in the evening otherwise.
This time is fine, Vikram.
This time is fine, right? Okay. Okay, no problem. So what do you want me to do? Do you have the office now, or we can continue for next 15 minutes?
Continue, Vikram.
We can continue?
Yes, Vikram.
Okay. So I'll just complete the substitution part. Okay, I'll not take any new topic. I'll just complete the substitution part. Okay, so what we understood just now is, one is validation. Validation means you are telling the system that if this is a prerequisite, check this, and if not, give the message. Substitution means you can substitute the value. Okay, instead of validation, you can write the substitution. In substitution, what you can do is, again, you have the prerequisite. Okay, there are only 2 steps: prerequisites and substitute. Okay, number 1, when I say prerequisite, let's say my prerequisite is same. If my document type is equal to SA and my company code is ABCI, right? If my document type is SA and company code is ABCI, then, sorry, this is prerequisite, not the substitution. Then substitute the document header text equal to test underscore ABCI. This is hard coding. Okay, what does it mean is, I will not check whether the value is there or not. I will automatically insert this value. If my prerequisite is this one, then my document header text will automatically get this value. Okay, that is something which you can write using the substitution. Okay, let me try to create this substitution. So in order to avoid the confusion, what I'll do is I will deactivate this substitution first. Okay, the substitution that we just now created, I will just deactivate it so that it is not creating the confusion with the substitution. So SPRO, IMG, financial accounting, sorry, this validation to come in place now. Okay, and I'll create a new substitution logic. So for substitution, I'll go to GGB1. Okay, you can see this is a substitution. Screen is almost same. So you can go to the financial accounting. Again, financial accounting system will ask you document header, line item, complete document. This is different. You don't need to worry about these two, sorry. Just these two are, these three are important. Document header, line item, and complete document. Okay, so again, the substitution that we want is at the document header level. So I'll click on the substitution. So again, this is for header text. I want to substitute the header text value. Again, you need to click on the step. Okay, and here you need to tell the system which field you want to substitute. We want to substitute document header text. So I'll select in this particular field. Okay, enter. You want to substitute the value with what? I want to substitute the value with the constant value. Okay, so enter. You can see prerequisite and substitute. These are the only two values available here. So what is my prerequisite? It is same what was earlier. So first thing is my company code is ABCI. Where is company code? I can search also. So let's click on this find company. Okay, company code. So company code is equal to constant value, which is ABCI, and indicator. Second condition is document type. So document type is equal to again a constant, which is SA, right? And what I want to substitute? I want to substitute document header text. With what value? I want to substitute with this value, test underscore ABCI. Okay, so I'll enter this constant value here and click on save. So with this, substitution has been created. Next one is I need to activate this substitution for my company code. So again, I'll go to the configuration within SPRO. Okay, so let's go to SPRO, IMG, financial accounting, global settings, tools. Okay, and validation substitution, and from here we can activate it. Sorry, this is for validation. I want to do this for the substitution. So new entry, company code is ABCI, call point is document header. Okay, and substitution, you need to select the substitution that we just now created. Okay, and activation or not. So you have to specify whether it is active or inactive. So active, and save it. Okay, once this is done, let's try to create a accounting document. Let's come out first and try FB50. So 09/12/2019, press enter. Can you see this? Have I entered this value? This came automatically, right? How it got derived? It got derived based on the logic, based on the substitution. Our substitution was, if our company code is ABCI and our document type is SA, system should automatically pick this value as test_ABCI. Okay, if I try to change the document type, it will not work because my prerequisite will not match. Right, so if I'm in the same company, but if I try to change the document type here, okay, so document type, if it is not allowing you to change, what you can do is go to editing options. Okay, and from here you will be able to document type ready for input. Save it and come back. Okay, now you can see document type is allowed to be changed. So instead of SA, I will use document type AB and press enter. This one came automatically before itself. That is the reason. So I need to verify it once again. FB50. Okay, let me first change AB. Enter. Completely blank. As soon as I do this SA and press enter, you can see this value is getting populated. So this is an example of substitution. Okay, currently we entered the substitution at the header. We can write the substitution at the line level also. Okay, let me try to show you one more substitution on the line level. Okay, otherwise, whenever you are practicing, you can try your own scenarios. Okay, so I will write one substitution for a particular GL account. Okay, so again, I need to go to the substitution screen here, and this time I'm writing the substitution on the line item. So line item, click on new substitution. Okay, this is for line text. Okay, I'll click on new step. It will ask me what I want to substitute. So in this particular case, I want to substitute the line level text. Okay, text field in the line item. This one. Okay, so I'll select this. Okay, with the constant value. What is my prerequisite? My prerequisite is if the GL account, okay, I'm not restricting it to any company code. I can restrict it to company code also. But this time, or maybe let's do that. It is always better to restrict to the company code. So let's go back. First is header. So from header, I will select company code. So if my company code is equal to ABCI, okay, and go back to the lines, because GL accounts you'll be able to see here in the segment. Okay, and my GL account, not this one. GL account, yes. And if GL account is equal to, again constant, which is 4000. Okay, then what I want to do, I want to substitute the text field with substitution underscore txt. Okay, so this is a simple substitution that I entered at the line level. Okay, and obviously I need to activate it. So here for ABCI, this time the call point would be line, which is this one. Okay, which substitution? The one that I just now created, which is line text, and activation level would be 1. Save it. Okay, and try to create a new document. So let's go out. So first of all, we will see whether the header substitution is working or not. Enter. Header substitution is working. Now let's go to the line. So as soon as I entered GL account 4000, press enter. Whatever fields are mandatory, you need to enter those fields. So this is debit of, let's say, 1000. Okay, and if you go to the right hand side, this text should come automatically, right? But let's first enter the values. So let's say I'm entering the cost center here. Paste, enter. This should come automatically. It is not coming. There might be some reason for that. So let's go and check. So we entered at the line level. This substitution is active. Change substitution. Let's see if the prerequisites are matching or not. So company code is ABCI and GL account is 4000. I hope this GL account is the same GL account that we are using. Let's try to delete this constant F4. Just give me a minute. Yeah, this is the same GL account, but let me do one more thing. Search for HCONT. HKONT. Yes, actually I was using another GL account was another field. We need this GL. So let's remove this. And instead of that GL, you have to use this GL. GL equal to 4000. So constant 4000. Okay, this was a problem due to which it was not working. So enter and try to save it. Okay, let's try one again. So FB50, enter. So this is header. Now if I come to line 4000, this would be, let's say, debit with whatever amount you want. So let's say 1000, and then cost center, enter. Yes, can you see it now? So this is an example of substitution at the line level, right? So what is the difference between validation and substitution? Validation has 3 steps. It performs a check, and if the condition is false, if the check is false, then it issues the error message. What is substitution? Substitution verifies the prerequisite. If the prerequisite is true, it will substitute the value of that particular field. Now, what is priority? This is again very important question in exam. If I write a substitution and validation both on this particular field, okay, just remember validation will take the priority. Validation has more priority than substitution. Okay, this is very important. Just remember validation has more priority than substitution. This question is asked many times in the exam. Let me enter it here. Validation has more priority than substitution. What does it mean? It means that if I create both validation as well as substitution on this, so what substitute will do? Substitute will update this field. It will substitute this field. Okay, but if the validation is in place on the same field and validation is performing separate validation, then based on the validation, system will throw the error. Okay, so for example, if I'm saying the substitution is test underscore ABCI, and then validation is if this field is blank, enter the value, then system will obviously give the priority to the validation. So just remember, validation has more priority than substitution. This is very important question asked many times in the exam. Clear on this? Any questions on validation and substitutions?
No, Vikram.
Others, any questions? Okay, if not, maybe then we can close. We will meet tomorrow again at same time.
Vikram.
Hello, Vikram.
Vikram.
Okay, tomorrow we are meeting. Earlier plan was Wednesday, but let's meet tomorrow to recover whatever we missed yesterday.
Hello, Vikram.
Yes.
Vikram, I have here one question, Vikram. While I'm creating a customer in BP transaction, I got the error, Vikram. I'm not able to solve it till now. Could you please once verify?
Yes. Okay. Before that, any questions on today's topic? If anyone wants to leave because of office, you can leave now. I'll just try to solve this problem of Shiva. What is that issue?
While I'm creating customer in BP transaction, so it's showing one error, Vikram. Number range for grouping S1.
Which grouping you are using?
Can you go 1 second my company, Vikram?
Your
Infi.
company?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, Vikram. Can you go my company code, Vikram, while I'm creating customer?
You mean to say FB50 or what?
No, BP transaction only. So just create what I'm giving input, Vikram.
Yes. So what is account grouping? BP grouping?
Account grouping is ABC1 domestic. Yeah,
This one?
that one only. Vikram. Yeah, that one only.
Okay.
So here ABC limited. Yeah, you can give anything.
No, that is fine. That is fine.
Yeah.
Here you are selecting which role?
Customer FICV01 new. Yeah, that one.
Okay, and then you are going to the company code data.
Yes, Vikram.
What
Here
is company
I'm
code?
giving my company. Infi, Vikram. INFI.
This one?
Not this one, Vikram. INFI,
Then?
Vikram. INFI, company
FI.
code name is. Yeah. Yeah, that one, Vikram.
Okay.
Now I'm getting error, Vikram, this time.
No, you have kept the number range for customer as external, right?
Yes, Vikram.
So external, you have to provide the number range. Do you want the same number or what? You want the same number as business partner?
Yes, Vikram.
Okay, so this BP grouping has to be assigned to the customer account group, right?
Yes.
Which customer account group you assigned it?
ABC1, ABC1, ABC2, ABC1
Okay,
for
so
domestic.
master data synchronization, customer vendor integration, settings for customer integration, field assignment, assign keys.
Define number.
So ABC1 you assign to ABC1. You are not ticked on the same number, right? Do you want the
Even
same
I
numbers
have,
or not?
yeah, I want same number. Even I tried that one also, Vikram. Till I got the error, Vikram, actually.
No, but if you are using the same number, I told you there are two separate criteria. Number one is your number ranges must be same.
Okay.
The number range that you are using, see,
Yeah.
your ABC1 is assigned to 01.
Yes, Vikram.
In 01, you have the numbers from 1 to 999.
Yeah.
Right. What about your customer grouping? Are these numbers same in the grouping, customer grouping also?
Customer grouping have
Financial
not checked,
accounting.
Vikram.
That is important because otherwise system will not update the same numbers. Huh?
Okay.
Preparation and then assign number range to customer account group. So ABCI is assigned to 99. And what is 99? 99 is, see, the numbers are different. Then how can you have the same numbers?
Okay.
This is the
So
problem,
in
right?
this,
You have to have the same number range. So what was the number range? 1 to 999, right? In the BP.
yeah.
If you compare
Yes, Vikram.
this, it is 1 to 999. This is BP. So it must be same 1 to 999 and it must be assigned to the same.
Okay.
Here also it should be assigned to 01. So your customer account group should be assigned to number range 01.
Okay.
Okay, and then if you want same numbers, then this has to be external. This is internal. How can it take the same number then? So what you can do is you can just remove that same number indicator, because for that you have to create the same number ranges also. You have not created the same number ranges. That is the reason it is not allowing.
Okay.
Okay, but at least now
Actually,
if you go to this one and untick this, it will work. Sorry, not this one. Which was the one? ABC one, right? So
yeah.
save. Okay, you are getting these other errors.
Yes, Vikram. It's not relevant to my company.
Yeah,
It's
yes.
a S100. So
No
that's what I'm
problem. If you are
getting.
getting any errors which is not relevant to your company code, just go to that particular grouping. You are getting error at S100, right? Just remove
Yeah.
this indicator.
Okay.
Okay. Wherever you are getting error, just remove these indicators.
Okay.
Okay, now the errors are gone. Click on save. It is saying again ZEW. So these are not relevant to our company codes. These are someone else has created all these things.
Yeah.
So untick, untick, untick. Okay, now done. So now if you try to create your customer, let's try to save it. So new organization, FLCU 00, create.
INFI.
Yes. Why it is showing dump now? Had to be done because it's on the statement that could. No, this dump is something different. Maybe you can try after some time, but that error is resolved. The one that you are getting, that is resolved.
Yeah. In normal ECC, have created normally Vikram. In ECC, I have practiced it when I'm using that ECC. But coming to this HANA, so I'm getting this error. So
Yes,
even
this
not
was
able to
actually
solve it.
related to the account groups. Yes, your account
Yeah.
groups and business partner mapping should be done properly. So
Okay.
someone, not you, someone has created the BP groupings and account groups where the mapping was incorrect, and that is the reason it was not allowing you to do. So I changed that now.
Okay. So now it's working fine, Vikram.
It should work because this dump I'm getting, it is because of some technical thing. Maybe you can try after half an hour. It should work.
Okay, Vikram, I will try. And tomorrow I will get
Yes.
back you if in case I got any
Yes.
error.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Vikram.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Vikram.
Thank you, Vikram.
Yeah.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello.
Any other questions? Yes.
Could you hear me, Vikram?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, Vikram, I'm not able to run the APP, automatic payment program in F110.
What is the error you are getting?
It is showing house banks. I created so many invoices, but I'm not getting, I'm not understanding what is the proper error.
No, can you send me the screenshot of that error?
I did not take
Hello?
the screenshot. Yeah.
No, maybe you can try. Maybe you can try later today and send me the screenshot. Even if you can update in the forum, that would be great.
I
Because
think
then
we need
everybody
to.
would be benefited, right?
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah.
Vikram, in this case, we are updating in the forum, but no one is replying to our questions, Vikram.
Replied already. You check any question, it is replied. Just see, you need to give at least 2 to 3 days. It is not nobody is sitting idle to reply immediately. But if you see, even your question is already replied on the forum.
Okay.
Can you check it now?
Yeah,
Can you
Vikram.
check it later on? It is
Okay.
already
Now I will
replied.
check.
See, this forum is for all. It is not only for me. It is not only that I should answer all these
Yeah.
questions. If you know the answer,
Yeah.
what is the purpose of forum? You should be able
Yeah.
to
Everyone
see.
should
As
have.
of now, there are very few members. Only this batch and controlling batch. There are only 20-25 members. But once the members increase, then definitely everybody will be benefited. So you also try to answer the question. Don't wait for me to answer the question. That is not a purpose of forum,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, sure, Vikram.
Yeah, just give me a minute. I'll just show you that all the questions, whatever questions are asked, those are already answered. There is no question which is open as of now.
Okay.
So this was your question, right?
Yes, Vikram.
It's already answered.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
you
Vikram. And later,
placed the question 6 days ago, it was answered 4 days ago. So only 2 to 3 days of time I need, because
okay.
like I am also working full time now, so sometimes it gets late. But at least now, if anybody has question, he'll be benefited. He'll directly come here and he'll see what is wrong.
Yeah, sure, Vikram.
The same thing I have written, what we have done just now.
Yeah,
If you
Vikram.
want same numbers, then make sure number range is assigned to the customer account group and number range is assigned to BP grouping have the same numbers. If not,
Okay.
untick this indicator, right?
Okay.
Okay. So, sorry, Chandrika, right? Chandrika
Yeah.
was asking a question. Yeah, just drop me the mail. Plus, if you can write on the forum, that would be also great. So I'll
Yeah.
try what exactly is wrong with your configuration, because I think if APP is not working, it is not very straightforward, which I can go and see. I need to check a lot of things, whether you configured it correctly or not.
No, I'm getting error in this proposal actually. That one. I'm trying to do it now. That's okay. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting one more error, Vikram, while creating invoices FB70. I'm getting one error with my one GL account. It is coming cost
Mm-hmm.
center, ANZ, admin, I mean, cost element is blocked against revenue postings on so and so date.
Why are you selecting revenue? Why are you posting? If you see, if you follow the sessions, we never entered the cost center in the revenue GLs. In FB70, if you are using revenue GL, you should not enter the cost center. You should enter the profit center.
Okay. Okay,
See,
Vikram.
cost center is for cost. Revenue is not cost, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We never entered cost center in any revenue GL account.
Okay.
Yes, just try that. It will work, because cost center will definitely not allow for the revenue posting. Although you can allow it, but that is wrong. So cost center is for expenses. Whenever you are making any expense, you will use the cost center. Whenever you are generating any revenue, you don't need cost center. You need a profit center.
Okay, yeah. When I entered cost center, also it is accepting the invoices.
Sorry,
For other GL, when I entered cost center, it is accepting. I mean, it's
but
not.
other GLs are not revenue GLs, no? They are
No,
cost
no, no.
GLs, right?
In the revenues only. In the revenues only.
Which one? Can you give me the example?
Uh,
Which GL is allowing?
4001.
What
4
is your
lakh.
company code?
AMGI.
This one?
ZZ, not G.
Z. Okay. Okay.
No, sorry. AMIN. Sorry, it's not mine.
AMIN. Okay.
Revenues, incomes. And this one, second one, this is primary cost.
You are saying this is allowing?
No, this is not allowing. I'm getting error that one.
Okay, this is not allowing because let's come down. This is a revenue cost element, right? Which one is allowing? This one.
Yeah.
You're not entered the this GL is not created as a cost element at all. You selected non-operating expense.
Yeah. Okay.
That is the reason it is allowing. Sorry, there is a difference between the revenue GL and expense GL and non-operative, right? So if it is revenue GL, if you in the control data, if you are able to see this cost element category as revenue, what does this mean? This means that this is a revenue GL account, and revenue GLs doesn't allow the postings to the cost center.
Okay.
Right. If you see, I'm not saying it is not allowed at all. There is an indicator in the cost center. if I go to cost center, which is your cost center? What is your controlling area? Hello?
Sorry, Vikram. AMGI.
AMZI, this one.
Yeah.
Okay, and what is your cost center?
Admin. I have multiple cost centers. Mm.
See, in control, there is a tick here.
Yeah, I did this configuration.
Okay, from here,
okay.
You actually not block. This cost center will allow you to post the revenue postings also because you untick this. Normally, these are ticked.
Yeah, I removed that one.
Yes, because you removed, it will allow. This cost center will allow you to use the revenue GL account also, which is wrong actually. We should not untick this.
Okay. Then why I'm getting error? What is that exact error? And 4,000, 4 lakh revenue account.
No. As I told you, see, there is a difference between the cost and the revenue, right?
Yeah.
What is cost? Cost is expense.
Yeah.
So whenever you are incurring the expense, you need the cost center.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you are earning the revenue, you don't need the cost center. You need the profit center.
Okay. So I should not give the
So
cost
whenever you
center
are using,
to
exactly. Whenever you are using FB70, you should not use cost center. You should use profit center.
Okay. I will try.
That is the reason you are getting error. You are giving the cost center there. That is the reason you are getting that error.
Okay, Vikram, I will try.
Yes. Just enter the profit center. That error will go away.
Okay, I will try, Vikram. Thank you. And
Yes.
that one, Vikram, that fields when we enter the cursor or down arrow options, you send me a screenshot, but I did not understand that how to do that one. System configuration.
No, I am also not sure. I was actually trying. It worked for me, but I am not sure whether it will work or not. Can you check with Krishna about that? He will be able to guide you in that. It is technical thing actually. What
will
I
talk.
tried is I just tried in SAP logon, right click, properties. So here network, for me it was low speed connection. I clicked it to high speed and it started working. Can you try at your end?
Yeah, I also tried, Vikram. Mine also high speed only, but still it's not coming.
Yeah, then there is some other issue. So you have to contact Krishna. He will check with the technical team.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Okay.
Thank
Okay,
you.
then thank you all. We'll meet tomorrow again at the same time. Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
Vikram. Bye.